Zach, we're going to jump right into questions, and we'll start with David Ferrones of the Sun Sentinel. David, if you had a question for Zach.
Hi, Zach. Yes. First, I want to know, how did you respond to the whole COVID situation, your appreciation for getting out there today? Obviously, this was a season that, you redshirted your original senior season so you can have. So just being out there and, when at first the season was at risk, now, it seems you're getting back out there to have this season.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. It was a season that I redshirted to come back and play. And, at first it seemed like there was going to be some – there's still a possibility of things kind of going left with that. But, I'm not really one to worry a whole lot. I control what I can control. And, all I can do is keep coming out here and working like the season. Like, I'm going to get to play every single game. And, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm very thankful and blessed to be in this position right now.
Awesome. Zach, next up we have Manny Navarro from The Athletic. Manny, if you had a question for Zach.
Hey, Zach. Welcome back for your fifth year. I wanted to ask you about the other linebackers because you're not the only guy back. There were other guys who missed last year. You redshirted, but guys like B.J. Jennings who were coming back from injury. Can you talk about those guys and maybe how they've looked, coming back?
I'd say we're pretty sharp. We get into meetings and we have our little competitions and battles and whatnot between each other. But when we get on the field, I think we mesh well. It's just a matter of reps, just getting more of those reps because, we lost a lot in the spring. Then we had 4 practices. So in a way, this is an extension of that. But it's rapid fire, a lot of install. But at the same time, we had a lot of time to, sit and watch film and learn and, become acquainted with the playbook again. So right now we're just putting it down on the field with our cleats now.
Awesome. Zach, next up we have Christopher Stock from InsideTheU. Chris, if you had a question for Zach.
Yeah, Zach, just Sam Brooks, maybe the strides you've seen from him, not just from the bowl game and spring ball, but just, I guess, just more development from him, what you've seen from Sam.
Again, it's just getting in the playbook and learning everything, being sharp. A little bit of, we're starting to, we're learning both sides, Mike and Will, and being involved in other people's learning, other positions learning on the field as well. Because, when you know other people's jobs, it helps you do yours a little bit better. So I've seen some of that from him, more questions, just being more open and vocal about things. We all know he can ball, but just, gaining those other little aspects will help him be that much more better of a player. We're going to see that soon.
Great. Susan Miller-Degnan, if you had a question for Zach. All right, we'll come back to Susan. David Lake from 24/7 Sports. David, if you had a question for Zach.
Yeah, Zach, wanted to ask you, yesterday Coach Baker was saying how just this season in general, it might be important for guys to cross-train at different positions. So in your case, I guess just the various linebacker spots, right? Is that something that they've kind of relayed to you guys in this early portion of getting ready for the season? And how do you feel like that would suit you because you have kind of played all the linebacker spots, along with some of your teammates at linebacker too?
Absolutely. They mentioned that to us pretty early on. That's always been something. The Mike should always know what the Will's doing anyway. Even if we don't practice it, flip-flopping and whatnot, you still got to have an idea of the concepts. They're 2 very similar positions, so learning it, should come fairly quickly. How I feel it suits me, I already know everything from, unless I'm rusty or something, but for the most part, I think I know everything from the Sam/striker position. If they ever needed me to go back out there for a game, or I'd be more than willing to do that. And I'm just becoming reacquainted with my inside linebacker roots, and I'm trying to do my best at that right now, and everything's coming along pretty nicely.
Great. We'll go back to Susan Miller-Degnan of the Herald. Susan, if you had a question for Zach.
Hey, Zach, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. So do you feel pretty old out there right now?
Maybe in terms of how I think and some of the things I have to say, but feeling wise, I'm out there running with the best of them. I still move like those young cats.
I'm wondering how weird was it being without Shaq and Pinckney? Did you talk to them a lot? You know, when was the last time you talked to them? Any advice from them? Have they talked about this moment and not being here?
I mean, it's kind of like I don't want to say it's like an unspoken agreement because we've had our words about it and whatnot, but it's already just like a, you know what to do type of thing. There's not a whole lot that can be said at this point that we haven't already talked about, and those things are private between us. But it's always going to be different, being on the field without them. I think they just left such an impression on me, but that's part of the thing. The feeling of not having them with me kind of keeps them right there with me up here the same way.
And can I ask one more thing, Cam?
Yeah.
Thanks. Zach, I know you sat out, I guess, after the third game of last season, and then you came back for Pitt, right? What was it like sitting out all that time, and you had a great game against Pitt? What was that like coming back? Did it make you appreciate it more?
What was it like sitting out? That was weird. I never had done that before. I never really pictured that. I don't think anybody comes into college picturing, I'm going to sit out a year randomly down the road after I've played this many snaps. But it was strange. But it was, I got to see the game from a different angle, and really be supportive and take a break and just sit in and take everything and learn. And I think that was beneficial to me because, sometimes your best learning happens when you just stop the madness from happening and you kind of take things into your own hands. But coming back from Pitt, and playing that game and, getting to be back out there, it was a little weird, seeing the game from that angle just because I hadn't really done it that much. But at the end of the day, it was just football, and that's what I went out there to do. And I think, I did a pretty good job, but I had fun doing it.
Awesome. Zach, last but not least, we have Tom D'Angelo of the Palm Beach Post. Tom, if you had a question for Zach.
Hey, Zach.
How you doing?
And good. As we were getting deeper and deeper into this summer, did you ever think, what did I do?
No. They say live with no regrets or something like that. It's kind of like cliche, but, every decision that I make, I stand on. I try to, the best of my ability. And, I put a lot of thought and consideration to it. And so me kind of, regardless of the circumstances, happening around, in the world, I did what I thought was the best thing for me. And, there's no going back on that.
So how did you, and this could be said asked of any player, how did you keep motivated to, continue on all summer to stay in shape? And when you were home, I mean, what was your thought process, and how did you stay in shape at times where you couldn't leave your house?
Mentally, it's just I love the game. I love what I do. To a point where it's really hard to stop me from doing it. Regardless of the restrictions, I would have figured out something. How it got done, the same way I used to do it back in high school. If I was allowed outside, I run around the neighborhood, find myself a nice little route, track my miles on the Nike app or whatever it is, and whatever they got. And, just keep it pushing, push-ups, all assists. I had some weights at the crib that I could have used. So I just did whatever was available to me. And when I came back, I kept chipping away at it and trying not to lose any progress, keep gaining.
Awesome. Zach, thanks for taking a few minutes with us tonight, and good luck the rest of camp. I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Appreciate it, Zach.